Hanging wallpaper around an inside corner is probably near the top of the list when it comes to giving do-it-yourselfers a hard time. However, once you know these step-by-step techniques, it is really not that difficult. The thing that can aggravate you the most is trying to install a 2 to 3 inch strip and deal with the corner at the same time. Hopefully, you've engineered your room to avoid this. Now, there are two methods to working around an inside corner. The first is the method that you will almost always find in wallpaper instructions and how-to books. They instruct you to pre-cut the strip into 2 pieces and install each one separately. This method will work, however, if the corner is even slightly out of square, which most are, you will have more waste and mismatch than is necessary. If the corner is almost perfectly straight, then this technique works okay. I recommend a different method that will minimize the mismatch as much as possible in practically every case. The reason this technique is so effective is because you will cut the entire strip at an angle to match the corner. Here's how. Use a ruler to take 3 measurements from the edge of the strip to the inside corner. In this case, at the top we have about 11 3/4 inches. About halfway down, we have about 11.5 inches. At the bottom, we have almost exactly 11 inches. Start out by applying an expanded spacer near the top of the strip and then another one at the bottom. You simply join the edge of the spacer to the previous strip and wrap it completely around the corner. The expanded spacers will provide you with the exact point where you will need to establish a guideline on the wall beyond the corner. These expanded spacers represent the exact width of a strip as if you had just installed it. Make a pencil mark about 1/4 inch past the expanded spacer, both at the top and then at the bottom. Establish a new vertical guideline for the second half of the strip using the pencil mark that is closest to the corner. In this case, it's at the top. This guideline must be plumbed so that the remaining strips on the wall will be straight after you wrap around the corner. Hold a 4-foot level directly on the pencil mark past the expanded spacer at the top and make sure that the bubble in the vial on the level is perfectly centered. Make another small pencil mark at the lower part of the level and use these 2 marks to establish your chalk line. Notice that the guideline will slightly overlap the expanded spacer at the bottom in this case. Now that you have a new guideline for the second half of the strip, you will install the entire corner strip without cutting it first at the work table. Remove the 2 expanded spacers and discard them. Then move your stool or your ladder into position. A step stool actually works best when installing a corner because the ladder will tend to get in your way. Unroll the strip and get it into position as before. One thing is different. When you're installing a corner strip, you must unfold both the bottom and the top half of the strip. Use your right hand to align the seam and match the pattern at the top right corner. Continue joining the seam along the right edge. Use your left hand to hold the left side of the strip away from the corner. Secure the right side of the strip first. Then smooth out the wallpaper and tuck it into the corner. While you're still on the step stool, go ahead and cut the wallpaper directly into the corner. Use scissors to cut through the top portion of the strip. Move to the bottom of the strip and finish aligning the right edge at the seam. Smooth out the strip and tuck it into the corner once again. Finish cutting the strip in the corner all the way to the bottom. Gently lift the strip to confirm that you have cut it completely. Notice that the left side of the strip is overlapping the chalk line at the bottom, just like the expanded spacers indicated before we began. Look at the top and you will see that your strip is about 1/4 inch to the right of the guideline. Lift up the entire left side of the strip away from the wall and slide the strip over into the corner only about 1/4 inch. Make sure the pattern is matched as closely as possible for the first 12 to 18 inches down. Then focus on aligning the left side of the strip with the guideline. Smooth out the strip and tuck it into the corner. Notice that there is only a 1/4 inch overlap at the top, and we have aligned the match as closely as possible. Continue aligning the left side beside the guideline all the way down. Finish smoothing out the strip and tuck it into the corner. Notice that the overlap is getting slightly bigger. You should expect this because of using the expanded spacers. Lift up the left edge of the right strip in the corner and tuck the overlap from the left strip under the right edge. As long as this overlap is no more than about 1/4 inch, you do not need any extra adhesive. Once this overlap exceeds 1/4 inch, you either need to cut the excess away or add some seam adhesive. Apply the seam adhesive to the overlapped area down the corner to the bottom. Finish overlapping the strip at the top and then trim the excess and clean the adhesive from the trim. You can see that the pattern matches nearly perfectly at the top. Notice, however, that there is a slight mismatch as you look down further. This is because the strip had to be cut and realigned. You can use an ink pen or colored pencil to obscure the pattern to appear matched. This technique really helps to minimize the mismatch. As you can see, the inside corner appears almost perfect, although it was out of square by almost an entire inch. This is because we cut the strip in the corner at an angle to match it, as opposed to pre-cutting it to a specific width.